What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. Finally, we are back live. And we has puppies that better not be fighting. So we are at episode 452. We are officially at the, less than a year mark now because we are at our 452nd episode, which means less than 50 to go before we hit our 500.
Or we could say 365 days or 366 for sleep.
Well, not really, because it's 452. So when it was 450, technically. So we got to think we're 2 into 100, so we need another 50 weeks.
All right. 50 weeks, then.
There's 52 weeks in a year. So 2 weeks earlier,
yes.
I was correct when it was 450. I'm stupid. I don't know why I thought 452. But anyway, either way, what's up, Toxic? My dear, how are you doing? And Legend, what's going on, man? You don't know me. You're 10 minutes early. Frank! Frank is here. What's up, Frank? So we are obviously back to a pre-show. We're back to a live show format. We're doing this a half hour earlier because things have been absolutely insane in the house. So we were like, we have the time now. Let's do it now. As a matter of fact, actually, I didn't even fix the air conditioner so that it won't blow on the microphone. Hopefully, you guys weren't hearing air. I didn't see it. So hopefully, you weren't. If you were, I apologize. So, pretty much the same stuff. Legend, you asked what's up. Pretty much the same stuff that was going on a couple of days ago when we did episode 451. We're just very happy that we finally caught up. I don't know how it happened. It was just a very productive, Saturday. And I was able to hammer out all the books that I wanted to read. And I only had a couple left today. Got those out pretty quick. And now we are here and we are back on time. The good news is we will be on Frontline Live tomorrow. Probably not on camera. Unfortunately, things just slow down for us sometimes. And just things are crazy over here. We got JD. It's good to see you guys. Oh, I'm giving you virtual hugs, JD. Virtual hugs. It's great to be back as the Monday live show delight that we are for all of you, I hope. So, with that, we other than that, a little bit of an updates or whatnot. Brooklyn Boys, I did a hilarious, took forever to edit, Sea of Thieves movie-esque episode. Brooklyn Boys is back and is in, I would like to think, full swing. I will have a video going up tomorrow. We did several videos in a row, opening cards, opening some random packs. So I'm going to spread those out over the course of the next couple of weeks. So we will have the first card opening probably tomorrow. If you like Pokemon cards, keep an eye out on Brooklyn Boys. First video will be there. We still have our lovely, where you going? We have our lovely puppy update that we have to do. Say hi, Cookie. Look at the camera. Right there. That's you. See you? No, you don't see you? Don't see you? Okay. Okay. Tavia, what's up? And Scotty's here. What's up, Scotty? So we'll have a dog update at some point in the near future. Doing good chilling before I have to go to bed. Oh, gotcha. Well, hopefully you catch up on your comics soon. How many books do we have actually this week?
We have 15.
15. I thought it was a shorter week. We had 5 less than
minus one that I did miss this week, but I will have
to. So technically we had 16. So technically we had 16, but you missed it. Yeah, it was Green Arrow. Green Arrow did not pop up. We're just happy to be back in the live show format. We're happy to have things getting back to normal as they can be. Moving forward. Also on Twitch, things are back to normal. I've done, I think, 2 streams so far. Yes, they're only Sea of Thieves. Not sure if I'll be doing anything different for the time being, but...
Could I just give an update?
Oh, we got reviews from the Batcave. What is up, reviews from that Batcave? I don't know who's on there. It could be both of you. What's up? Definitely check out their live shows every Friday night. If you haven't, reviews from the Batcave in the comments. Yes. We'll talk about that at the end again.
I was just saying, could I give an update from my channel?
Well, yeah, you can give an update for your channel, but I just want to finish real quick here for this channel.
I'm just saying. Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, let me finish here, and then you have it all for yourself. So, Brooklyn Boys, you guys know, right here, the Dark Avenger podcast, I'm working on as we speak. Hello. So I should have an episode up. I obviously had to redo the entirety of the episode because it's already a month and a half late. So I redid it. I'm starting it fresh with topics that are newer. So that will be coming up soon. Monthly haul. I'm honestly waiting for a few books that DCBS did not get on time. So they're shipping it with this week's books. And this week's books are late because of the 4th of July. What's up, Jeremy Renfro? So as soon as we get those books, if not this week, I will be doing the monthly haul as well. What you're looking for something? She's looking for something in the pockets. So the haul will be up. The podcast should be going soon. And Tuesday tomorrow we should be on Frontline. Those are all the updates. What did you want to say about your?
All right. So for this week on Duroc 18, I'm not going to say when because I want to keep it a surprise.
This week in the world of Dude of Rock 18,
there will be my 800 video plus, and I am thinking about this, and it's turning on the yes side.
Porn?
I am thinking about making a Twitter account.
Oh my God, Mike is gonna be on the Twitter.
After 800.
Mike is gonna be on the Twitter.
So I will be posting it on my Facebook, on my Dude.
You're gonna be called the real Dude of Rock 18.
Well, I don't know. Do I have to put hashtag as my name?
No, not a hashtag. You have to create a name.
Oh, so it's just a name.
Yeah.
All right. I thought I had to put hashtag.
No, hashtags.
Well, basically on my Twitter, if I create
Rich is on Houston back here. What's up, Rich?
So since I'm turning it to the yes side, just on my Twitter.
Oh, Rich is there also. The both of them are there. Got you. Chad and Rich are both there.
It'll just be where I'm going and stuff. That's all I'm going to say. But 800 is going to be this week, so keep an eye on my channel. It will be this week. Right? Right. It will be this week. Well, okay
She just wants to stick herself. Will you let us do a review? Excuse me.
Well, I have my tablet right here.
And you another one. Well, okay, so she's just gonna sit there.
And now you're gonna go to your favorite spot.
We're gonna do this review with her there. There you go. Yeah. Props on 800, Mike.
Thank you. And just remember in the credits that if I don't put your name on there, you're still important to me. So please do not get offended.
In other words, Mike got tired of writing credits.
Just trust me, you're gonna like it. And hopefully YouTube will WMG it because I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they would.
Well, I hope not.
What is this?
What is this? Is this a doggy fest or what are we doing? All right, so I think that we should.
We have the pillowcase for this sheet. I had this since I was a kid. This is the only sheet that survived. We have a pillowcase, and I think we have the actual mattress one, the one with the mattress cover,
yeah.
And that's it. Everything else didn't survive. Michael had the same. His didn't survive. So we literally only have that. I wish they'd remake it. I really do. Or maybe I could find it somewhere again. It'd be nice. That's a blast from our past.
Yeah.
That's why it's in our background all the time.
Yes. So, anything else?
All right. So I think we're at 10:09. Last minute things real quick. Let's think. There's going to be a few cuts physically being made. It will impact the whole video. I apologize for that, but we will have some extras. I'm working on doing a couple more extras to even out the less comics. But for money and for space reasons, there are a few more books that are going to be disappearing off the physical pile. Doesn't mean we're not reviewing it. However, there are 2 books here that are not going to be on future ones. And I would like to also point out that Deadpool issue number 2, I read it. It was a fun read, but I think I'm going to move Deadpool, the main book, to my casual reads. So whenever I bring It's a Podcast back, Deadpool will be back. I'll be discussing Deadpool again there. Here, however, I think we're done with Deadpool, and we're going to be done with another book. We'll talk about that, but that book I'm done because I'm just not liking it. We'll talk about that here. New battery for my laptop. I can start streaming, and that's sweet, man. That's great. And hopefully your cast will be awesome, as always. So, with that, 10:10. That was a 10-minute pre-show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like us to make them longer, let us know. Or if you'd like a little bit of a post-show, we will try. We just like to give you guys some updates before we actually get started with the main attraction, which are the books every single week. So 15 books this week for the first week of July, which is
July 4th, 2018.
Happy Independence Day!
You took my shtick. I hate when you do that.
Happy Independence Day?
No, with the whole, that first week of July. You always got to do that. I hate that. Why you got to do that? Why? Let's get to your book visually.
So we're starting with the Independents, as always, and we're going with Go-Go Power Rangers issue number 11. As I thought, and I think I mentioned this in the last issue, Kimberly was being controlled, future Kimberly, and it was by the bow. The bow, which looked like Tommy, the sword that was controlling him by Rita. Lord Draken basically repurposed it and took control of Kimberly. How we'll probably never see. But after the sword was destroyed by current day Kimberly, or past, or Go-Go Power Rangers time Kimberly, which is present day, that in that book, Kimberly get the spell's broken, and now she is upset at all the bad things she had done, but at the same time, now she's going to find a way to get back to Lord Draken and do what she said she was going to do and kill him.
Yeah, thank you. This is the Hard Rock Cafe. I should have worn this on July 4th. I don't know why. Maybe I'll wear it next year. The Hard Rock Cafe. Really good restaurant, too. I would recommend you go there. It's right near Times Square above the New York, the New Year thing.
And as always, when it comes to Power Rangers, I am getting Shattered Grid. Physically, once Shattered Grid is over, we're getting a new creative team. But at the same time, I'm going back to a digital format with Power Rangers. Again, I was already reading it digitally. Shattered Grid, I felt, was a big event, and it is kind of shattering for the Power Rangers. So that's why I'm getting it. That's why I didn't get the 25th anniversary special. I'm only getting Shattered Grid physically, and then after that, going back to a digital format. I enjoyed this issue. In the end, though, Kimberly is doing something. We don't know what yet. We'll find out in the next issue where it's trying to get her back to stop Lord Draken. I feel like that's where the connection to Go-Go is going to end when Kimberly leaves. Future Kimberly. So that's it for Go-Go. I really enjoyed the book. I'm enjoying Shattered Grid. And I can't wait to get my hair cut, because every 5 minutes I see myself pushing my hair down because it sticks out in the side.
You don't have to worry. Mine is getting longer and sticking out. So.
I'm all over the place. Just got new Pokemon. Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we had Pokemon Go this whole entire weekend. Got an Arcuno and Blastoise from yesterday's Squirrel Day, but that's them. All right. Red Sonja Tarzan, issue number 3. We get introduced to 2 new characters. One of them is Turok, who is Tarzan's son. Well, Karak, I'm sorry, the killer.
Turok is actually another book.
I was thinking, yeah, but it was just somewhere in my head and everything. But anyway, we get a little bit of an origin story of him because he wants to find out who's killing the animals. And we know that it's that person Dole, what's his name? Isandol. I couldn't remember his name, but yeah. It's basically him worthwise. And then we get the sword that Red Sonja uses that we saw in the Red Sonja stories, the Sword of Sorrow, I think, or something. That was from our ancestors. And we also get Lady Greystoke, who actually comes into this book, who is the grandmother, I think?
She's the grandpappy.
Oh, no, the godmother. I'm sorry, the godmother.
Godmother.
And she's just, like, also with these whole animal killings, like, she's for...
Is Pokemon Go even anymore? Yes. Pokemon Go just actually, they just updated Pokemon Go where you could add friends and stuff.
Yeah, and I wasted all my Pokeballs after getting so many squirrels yesterday.
I have a lot of friends on Pokemon Go. I shared my code not a week ago, and I've got a lot of people on my friends
if you want, PM us on Messenger, and we'll give you our friend code. I would love to have more friends, because I have gifts I want to give away that I have too many of. But anyway, so going back into this, Tarzan was talking with... Karak, and he was like saying that Dole's like a really strong person. You know, you may not be able to defeat him because of that. So then Tarzan accepted Red Sonja into his family because she doesn't have a family really. So that was then, and it looks like they're going to be going to Samaria to be continued, which is Red Sonja's home of the place she lives and everything. But I really enjoyed this issue. This was actually pretty interesting to learn about new characters, but, you know, with all that stuff. All right, let me get this. Okay, Jeepers Creepers, issue number 3. I feel like it's been a long while since I've read this, actually. I mean, I don't know.
It feels like we got Jesse! Jesse is in the comments. JLS Comics. I almost said JLS Comments. Jesse, new member on Zone 4.
Oh, he is. Oh.
He was on last episode, and he is also going to be on this week. I unfortunately was unable to record. Jesse, we will get together at the next meetup, and we will definitely have some fun.
Yes. So
Zone 4 style.
Right. So this guy is trying to look for the Dragon Lord from what he's studying and everything. And he's going to historic Roanoke, however you say it, to find out about this Dragon Lord. And he passes by the truck, which we all seen in Jeepers Creepers 1, I guess.
Oh, yeah, Scotty. I didn't even think of that. It would be glorious!
Which is
like me. And there's Justin. Glorious!
I don't know about that. But anyway. That,
what, Justin's not glorious?
No, you be glorious.
I am glorious.
The first movie, like I said, we don't talk about. So anyway, so he tries to find out more about, they call him now Lizard Man and everything. And then he goes into this town where he gets hallucinations and stuff with the knife that he uses to find out more about it. And he actually does find out more about the Dragon Lord. And these hallucinations, either he's going to start going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy, or I don't know what, but something on his arm that was written in blood, Centralia. I don't know that it sounds familiar. I don't remember it being in a Jeepers Creepers movies reference. I don't think, but I don't know. It's really interesting to actually find out what that actually means. So I guess in the next issue we'll find out what it means and everything else that there is to it.
Every time I do another issue of Paper Girls, which this is issue number 22. I keep thinking that I need to get my hands on that Ultimate collection, which was the first 10 issues. First 10 issues or first 12 issues?
Oh.
I'm trying to think if it was the first 10 or 12. Must be 12, because when we hit 24, probably the next book. I don't know, but I know I need to get the trade for Paper Girls. I really do. I love Paper Girls. This issue, they're still in the future. They're being tracked down, but at the same time, Mac and KJ are going off to find Mac's cure, because there's a cure for her leukemia there, and the other group is going out trying to figure out how the hell to get home. And I like the stuff that's in here. I love how KJ almost literally tells Mac what she saw in the previous volume, where she saw them kissing literally on that exact same roof, and everything. Obviously, we know what's going to happen. We just don't know when. That's my entrance music. Oh, glorious!
Glorious!
I wouldn't mind having that as my music. I'll walk out in my bathrobe in a wrestling bed.
You mean with a bathrobe with a sleeping hat on your head that goes
sparkling thing that says glorious?
And then with those little bunny shoes and
I don't have bunny shoes.
Yes, you do.
I'll have to go buy bunny shoes.
You
buy Pikachu shoes.
Okay, then I'll get Eevee shoes. I'll come out.
No, wait, I'm the Eevee.
No. You said Pikachu. You heard him.
Yeah, but you want to go game-wise, I'll get the Eevees.
Fine, I'll get the Mewtwo then.
Fine.
I'll own all of you. Mewtwo owns everybody anyway.
You are a purple kind of dude.
Well, you know what? You just shut your mouth.
I got him. We got him there. So I really enjoyed Paper Girls. I'm very eager to see what happens. And then they also find out that the baby from the past is the all grandfather in where they're at now. So it's gonna be interesting when they meet. I'm liking this new volume. I'm enjoying Paper Girls. Paper Girls is a joy to read each and every time it comes out. It's one of my favorite Image books, as always. So definitely check out Paper Girls 22.
All right, The Walking Dead issue number 181.
We're almost at 200 already. Feels just like yesterday we got issue 100, remember?
With the Negan War and everything?
Yeah, feels just like yesterday that we were doing that.
That's crazy. So, Rick is talking with the...
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got the omnibus. The first 12 issues. Thought so. Oh, wait. Omnibus for the first 18 issues of Saga. Oh, okay. That's Saga. So, the first 12 issues is for Paper Girl, so that means when issue 24 comes out, volume 2 will come out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what her name is that Rick talks to. But basically, I think Margaret or whatever from the Commonwealth. He shows his
Is it
community.
Martha?
No, not Martha, no.
Everybody's mother's
and
Martha.
And then Michonne said that she talked to Lance about accepting the job, about being in the law and everything, and an apartment and stuff like that in the Commonwealth, so things look good. Every time now I see Carl, I always think that he's not on Walking Dead anymore. You know, that really gets to
I don't
me.
even think about the TV show anymore.
But anyway, so he meets up with Joshua and how you know, how they're scared about what's been going on and with walkers and stuff like that. So there's been lots of stuff about that, and there's like lots and lots of dialogue about what's been going on and stuff. Meanwhile, we have Rick, who's teaming up with the Princess teams up with. I like her character though; she's very awesome character. Where they meet up with walkers and they actually fight the walkers, and it's like a whole big thing that's going on there. And Mercer actually comes in to help Princess with the herd of walkers. I was like saying, no, don't kill her off now. That's too early. You know, you can't do that. And then
Never too early.
oh yeah, and then Princess and Mercer have a little romantic moment and stuff like that. Well, it seemed like they were having a moment for what she said.
It looked like she was.
And then
I don't know about the other guy, but she looked like she stole it.
and then there's I think that Mercer is gonna leave the Commonwealth because I don't know if he's gonna turn into a bad guy because they were like saying, you know, we know you well and everything, so it's hard to cause you alarm and everything. And he doesn't look too happy about that. So either a Walker is going to kill him or he's going to leave the Commonwealth. I don't know, but it looks like his character is getting on the darker and darker and darker side. So we might just be seeing that. I mean, I don't know. It's really up to the writers or Robert Kirkman what he's going to do with the character, and we'll find out then. Ghostbusters Crossing Over, issue number 4. Another book that
I love this
been,
Peter Venkman.
Yes, from the real Ghostbusters. And there's another book that I felt I haven't read in a long time as well. And what they're doing is that they're trying to find out. Well, they're in 2 universes. There are 2 Ghostbusters groups in 2 different universes. And what they're trying to find out is the kinetic energy of where it's come from. The real Ghostbusters, Egon, that is, who teams up with 2 of the IDW Ghostbusters and the other. There's so many Ghostbusters. It's so confusing. So then we go into Egon's point of view where he has this UPK meter about a PKE signature meter about some persistent demons that are lurking around. They're in black and white, basically, in that perspective. They meet up with Death, where Death knows Egon very well because we all know he died before and then came back to life and stuff like that. So Egon gets a really talk with Death, I guess, but chose someone else to be his Death, which is some other character. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like the whole thing about finding demonic creatures in 2 different universes. And there was one of the Headless Horsemen that the real Ghostbusters got an encounter with. And do you know who this is? Was that from Ghostbusters? I don't know what his name
Looks like Clayface.
It kind of looks like Clayface. But anyway, he tries to look for demons and stuff. And it looks like that Peter Venkman is like saying, wait, not this one again, where they were. And I think I remember this place because it looks actually really familiar. This place that they're in.
Oh, I think I know it too.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting. Well, it's interesting where they left off because now I got to wait for the next issue and see what happens there. But Ghostbusters, they just keep going and going. Out the park.
Let's go, Ghostbusters! That's a different Ghostbuster team.
Well, we're talking about the 1980s Ghostbusters. And the real Ghostbusters animated show.
We just need 2 other people, and we could totally do that dance down the driveway.
Well, we could get Kevin and someone else.
We'll grab Ellie. She could be something on her.
Oh, grab Richie. He's been gone for how long?
All right, we're going into Marvel now. We don't have that many from Marvel this week.
No.
And I think I'm doing the rest of these books. Do you have 1 or 2 big too?
Well, I was gonna have Green Arrow, but we haven't got the physical.
Oh joy, here we go. Marathon time for me.
Oh come on! There's some marathon things with me and Indy.
It's true. At least you cover our indie front.
So
I'm going to cover our big true front. We're going to start with Marvel with Immortal Hulk issue number 2. I'm done with the series. I'm sorry.
Time?
It's only been 2 issues. What do you mean about time?
It says Legacy issue 790.
It's only been out for 2 issues.
Jeez,
About time. If you guys missed your 80s Saturday morning cartoons, check out Retro Saturday Morning Cartoon Blog on Facebook. Oh yeah, I've seen that. I think I'm part of that group. But I'm done with Immortal Hulk. And it's no offense. I mean, the book is good, and I could see a lot of people enjoying it. My voice cracked with that.
Yeah.
The book is good. I don't like the horror. Now, again, and I said this before this book even came out, I'm not a fan of the Hulk. I've tried multiple times to pick up the Hulk, and multiple times I dropped it. I am not interested in this horror take on the Hulk. The Hulk comes out at night, and there's like a dark ending for the bad guys in the book. This issue was like the nail in the coffin, and not because of the issue. What are we talking about? I gotta bring cereal. Oh, cereal. Oh yeah,
Gotta have cereal.
Mike's gotta have cereal. But I'm sorry, I'm not into the Immortal Hulk. It just does not interest me in the book. It just doesn't. So that's it. Issue 2 is where I'm stepping down from Immortal Hulk. It's just not. It's a good book, and like I said, I see a lot of people liking it and enjoying it. I just don't like how the books end. Yeah, this story ain't working for me. This Hulk series ain't working for me. Sleepy Reader, what's your ideal Hulk run?
Well, that's a good one.
I liked, and I don't know who did it. I liked when Joe Fixit. If you all remember when Green Hulk got suppressed by the Gray Hulk for a time, and then there was that big fight in the end for both egos, and then Bruce Banner came out in control of the Hulk. I liked that. I liked older Hulk. I read several Hulk arcs from the 90s and liked it. My ideal Hulk is a mix. It's honestly, if you remember the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Hulk, I liked it like that. I liked Hulk like that, where Bruce was on the run because he was wanted, but at the same time that it wouldn't fit in the Marvel Universe anymore.
No, because they thought that he was dead.
No, that's David Banner. I'm talking about in the comics, though. He was always on the run.
I thought you meant the Lou Ferrigno run.
I don't know. I guess a Bruce Banner that's not on the run, but at the same time, when he needs to Hulk out, he does. I think that when they took that whole when he gets mad or hurt or whatever, he doesn't Hulk out, or he does it on command, it took something away from the Hulk, and then they separated the Hulk ego from the Hulk, and then you had the whole Red Hulk run, which was Thunderbolt Ross, which he was in Captain America issue number 1. We'll get to that in a moment. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that can be done with Hulk, but again, Hulk is not a character. Hulk, Thor, Deadpool, Deadpool went to a casual read. I'm still enjoying it. Thor, I'm enjoying right now, and I want to see future Thor's arc before I move the book. Probably, I think I actually am moving it digital anyway, but I want to get to the future Thor arc. But there are a lot of characters that don't interest me, and again, for time reasons, for space reasons, and just for money reasons, there are several books I am letting go of. Unfortunately, a lot from Marvel, but a few from DC. There was a nod to the TV issue 2. Yep, I saw reporter Steve McGee, and also I like how instead of calling himself Bruce Banner, he called himself Robert Bruce Banner. I liked that they didn't just do Bruce Banner. I know they didn't say David Bruce Banner, but at the same time, there was a lot of that vibe. I will agree with that. Reviews in the back cave. It did have a vibe of the TV show. Peter David Hulk. Yes, that was it. Peter David did a good Hulk era. Yes. Smashy and stupid a little bit. I mean, there were times where I liked that Bruce had control. I've been dabbing in Ant-Man. Oh, dabbling in Ant-Man. I was like, what are you dabbing? I've never seen Alan dab. Don't do that on my show any.
What's wrong with the dabbing?
Don't do that or you're going to leave the show.
It's dabbing.
You get the hell out of my show!
Get dabbing.
Dab you out the door.
What's wrong with dabbing?
Stupid.
It's not stupid. You're stupid.
No, people who eat Tide Pods are stupid. Okay, and those
I
are
haven't
the
eaten
people.
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
I think you've been eating Tide Pods. You can't even remember.
Okay. Pax, only good Hulk is the Planet Hulk. Yes, I did like Planet Hulk as well. World War Hulk I didn't read, but Planet Hulk I did read with Beta Ray Bill. Very good. How do you feel about Red Hulk?
I like the Red Hulk.
I was okay with Red Hulk, but apparently Thunderbolt Ross lost it now. The Amadeus, Amadeus Cho Hulk I did not like. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, Rich and Chad, you missed nothing from the Amadeus Cho run. You really didn't. You truly, honestly didn't. And when he got rid of the Hulk inside of him, now he's a thin version of the Hulk, and it's stupid. It was just dumb. I don't. The sooner Amadeus Cho loses any gamma radiated piece of him, all of it, I'll be the better. It was not. They tried to do New Superman with the Hulk, and it didn't work. That's my opinion. I think New Superman worked 100 times better. I didn't like Amadeus Cho Hulk, but I don't like this Hulk either. I feel like this Hulk is like Gen 1 Hulk because he's smart enough to talk. He's not like Hulk Smash. He actually has Joe Fixit kind of dialogue, and he's kind of like a punisher of evil. And what he does is he punishes it in a dark way. That guy in issue 1 will never come out of his coma. The villain in this issue is immortal, but now he's buried under miles of rock to live out his immortality. That is like, I mean, think about your worst nightmare, and that's what the end of the issues have been so far. And this one was dark. Burying that immortal guy, 300 feet underground where nobody will see him. I don't know why, but I have such an itchy eye, and I can't scratch that itch. Yeah, it was dark. I'm done. I need like a Hulk smash. Like we're getting that with Avengers, She-Hulk right now. I thought Grey Hulk was good in its time. I don't know how they'd use it now. Her Doc Green was a great recent run. 50-50. All right, moving on. So Hulk, unfortunately, is getting the bye-bye. And now we're in Hunt for Wolverine, Weapons Lost, issue number 3. And we find out that it is not Wolverine in this book. It is his robot clone, Albert. Now, I don't know of Robert Clone Albert. Every time I have to say this, I'm laughing, and I'm sure some of you are like, dude, respect Albert. But when I hear Albert...
Don't tell me they get off.
No, I'm just thinking of Albert.
Oh.
If Logan's name was Albert. Oh, my God, no. But it's his clone. It's his cybernetic clone, his cyborg clone, or whatever the hell it is. And they beat him, and they find more intel. Cypher actually is alive. He survives the attack. And there's more stuff in Chicago. So they go back to Chicago. Apparently, there's a love thing going on. Albert? Yeah, it was Albert. You know Albert? Because I don't know Albert. My worst nightmare is reliving watching Spider-Man 3 over. Oh, my God, that is a nightmare.
I feel so bad for you, reviews from the Batcave. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Wolverine has Doombots, basically. But that's it. That's what happens in this issue. Yeah, this is definitely a solidified third place out of the 4 miniseries so far. Claws of a Killer is definitely last place. I'm loving the other 2, which is third place goes to... second place goes to Manipur, and first place goes to Adamantium Agenda. Hands down. And then, of course, when we're done with this, we're getting a big old one-shot, culminating all 4 endings, and then we're going to get the return of Wolverine. Because Marvel Preview says, Wolverine, Charles Soule is writing Wolverine ongoing series. Now, that I will pick up physically. As a matter of fact, I might actually drop Fantastic Four. No, not Fantastic Four physically. I have another book I'm dropping physically to make sure that... Oh, that's right. I'm dropping Nightwing. I'm dropping Nightwing physically so that I'll be ready for when Wolverine comes out. No offense to Nightwing. I could just read it digitally, and at this point, I'm not like... Well, we'll get to that. I forgot. Nightwing comes out this week. Avengers issue number 4. Speaking of She-Hulk. Stop asking that question, Tevye.
What?
You know exactly where she is. The book's called X-23. And that's what it's called, and that's what it is. Period, Tevia. You ask that all the time, and the answer is look at the solicits. It's called X-23. So, Avengers, we find out that the Avengers BC all died except for Thor's father and Odin. And somehow the Celestials got trapped, and Odin says there's no way you're going to win. You're going to die. I have a weapon for you, but you use it, you're all going to die. So they get the weapon, Hulk and, well, they're calling her Hulk right now. She-Hulk and Thor get the weapon. And it's apparently a big old bomb. More. What? Oh, yeah, I would be happy if Morph was what do you call it? If they pop Morph into an X-Men comic. I loved Morph in the 90s. I wish they put him back somewhere. I mean, they can, technically. I mean, he's dead, but you know what dead means in Marvel. It means nothing. So, I enjoyed the issue. Now, what were we talking about? Avengers. So, you've got Cap with Loki, still Loki explaining more about the Celestial that died there billions and, I think, 4 billion years prior. So, before even Avengers BC. And things are looking bleak, but we all know that in the end, the Avengers are going to come together. They're going to win. Apparently, Tony Stark finds out more about the Celestials in this book. I am truly digging, and I love Ed McGuinness's artwork here. Avengers, it's a very good book so far. Captain America issue number 1 with the Alex Ross cover.
Sideways.
Because it's a full. I love Alex Ross's covers, and now that he's done with Amazing Spider-Man, obviously he moved on to Cap, and he moved on to Hulk. I don't think he's doing Hulk much longer, though I think he's going to be sticking with Cap. For those of you that were questioning how come, and I know Tevia was one of them, so Tevia, this is for you. You were asking, why didn't Marvel, why didn't we get any, there are no ramifications from Secret Empire. This book is where the ramifications start. And I kind of questioned it. I went into Frontline. I was talking to my friends, and Jay actually explained it the best. So props to Jay for what I'm about to say. Jay's the one that said, they wanted to get the hell away from Secret Empire. They wanted to forget about it. And that's why we got the Mark Waid run for Captain America. And I love Mark Waid. I've loved all of his writing. I just could not get behind his Captain America. Wasn't a fan of his Black Widow either. But I couldn't get behind his Captain America. I didn't like that run. This run I like. So, this run is dealing with the ramifications of Secret Empire. The world doesn't trust Cap anymore. And there were a lot of people that were pardoned for fighting against Hydra. And there are people out there still that are afraid of Cap, that are worried that Cap is going to do the same thing again. They made Sharon Carter look older, though. I don't like that. Thunderbolt Ross, who was pardoned because he played a part in taking out several Hydra platoons, puts... oh shoot! I just said her name too. The girlfriend. What would I just say? Sarah Carter. She puts her on a another mission with Bucky because apparently there's something going on, attacks on America, and they don't want to put Cap there. And Cap thinks it's because of his connection with Hydra, when in reality I don't know. I think the world is just Cap knows that the world doesn't trust him anymore, and you see it every time he helps somebody. You get that he sees that fear in their eyes sometimes, and I like it. This run I can get behind, I think, a little bit more. You've got villains that were during Secret Empire that are now coming back now that Secret Empire is gone. I'm not going to spoil what. I will definitely be keeping Captain America in my pull. I enjoyed the first issue. Let's see if it continues that way. Now, Captain America I got behind several times. Firestorm. Morph was in the comics. Yes, he was. Who said he wasn't? Oh, Scotty, you said you wish he was in comics. He was. Cap was amazing, Scotty. If you'd like to read a good book this week, it was definitely Captain America issue number 1. I really enjoyed it. Now, speaking of the book that I'm moving digital, Nightwing issue number 46. So, Barbara ends up saving Dick. And we find out that Dick apparently has a bat cave in the sewers, like Batman's bat cave. where he actually hangs his older costume, his current day costume. We're in DC now, by the way. And what happens is he was holding that machine, the spider, and it burrowed back inside of his body, and now it's stuck in his spinal cord. So until this arc's over, he has his visor on now where he could choose between reality and virtual reality. And we find out that the guy that Dick was training might actually be the leader or the bad guy, whatever they're calling it. He is neighbors with Turtles. That's right. Next door is the TMNT headquarters. How did you know that, Jesse? Did he take you? He was supposed to bring me down there. I call hacks. But anyway, I'm just not digging this cybernetic thing, and they're going to have an annual in 2 months for it. So I just moved Nightwing to a digital starting, not this coming month, I believe next month. Nightwing's going digital, and that's just because I'm not feeling Nightwing. I'm really not. The good news is the next volume of Nightwing is coming out finally in November. I thought they forgot about the rest of the run, but we're getting Nightwing Volume 7 from the Chuck Dixon run. I think Chuck Dixon was still on it during Volume 7. I don't know, but the first volume of Nightwing, the first ongoing of Nightwing volume is coming out, and I already pre-ordered that. So I'm excited to get the next volume of Nightwing there. Here, I think I'm going to be keeping it digital. Now, we're talking about this first.
There's a nice cover I want to show.
Okay.
But after I show this cover.
I would put the other book first, but because that book happens after this one, I'm doing this one first. But honestly, we'll talk about that book when we get to it. Batman issue 50. Or, as I like to call it, the book that pissed off a lot of people. Now,
there's this cover.
I love that Jim Lee cover.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
This cover is awesome.
I didn't get it. I think maybe I did get it. I don't know.
I like that. It's very...
Now, DC pulled a Marvel and spoiled this. I'm very happy I don't read the New York Times, and nobody linked me this time to the New York Times, so I read the book before the spoiler got around. And because of all the stuff going on in the house, I haven't been really close to social media.
Look at that. See, what's that?
Yeah. So I did not get any spoilers. I read this book completely without any of the spoilers. But I know a lot of people are upset. And I know a lot of people are upset because we just had the Kitty Pryde and Colossus wedding that really didn't happen. And then we had Rogue and Gambit get married instead. But in this book, Catwoman basically stands up Batman. Both of them writing notes to each other. Batman writing how important Catwoman is, and Catwoman writing how important Batman is to the world. So her sacrifice is basically her love, or she's sacrificing her marriage and her, being with him in order to keep Batman around. And of course, this is because her friend got into her head, and we find out at the end of the issue, her friend is working for Bane, and Bane is the whole orchestrator of basically pushing Catwoman and Batman apart. But Catwoman's friend does not know who Batman is. But the damage is done, and Catwoman feels that the world needs Batman, so she's sacrificing her love for him in order for him to remain as Batman. But we all know Dick's coming back as Batman for a time, so apparently this is hurting Batman for a time. I understand why people are upset. I really do. Because first we had, the whole it didn't happen for Kitty Pryde and Colossus. Now we have it didn't happen for Catwoman or Batman either. But the downside is Catwoman and Batman, and this is why I think why Batman's getting hit on a bit harder. We had so much lead up. There were so many stories where Batman fought Talia. Batman went on a double date with Clark and Lois. I mean, there was a really egregious amount of we're building up to this wedding, and we're serious about it. Oh, thank you, Alan. What number? Wait, go back up. It was always. It's always, yeah, of course, Firestorm. It's always friends causing trouble. We're only yes, and that's Jesse said what I was going to say. Tom King mentioned that his his journey for Batman and Catwoman is supposed to span over 100 issues of his issues, and we just hit issue 50. So there are 50 more issues. Everyone who's upset that they didn't get married now, I didn't know this. Tom King said this on Twitter recently. Had I known this in advance, I would have known that this issue was not going to be the wedding issue. It's obvious that if there is going to be a wedding, it's going to be 99, 100. It's going to be somewhere towards the end of his 100-issue journey for Batman and Catwoman. So, honestly, I feel like this is the halfway point. They almost did it, but didn't. If everybody remembers Lois and Clark, it took them an entire season to get married. And they didn't even get married normally. If everybody remembers Lois and Clark, there was magic involved to their wedding. I don't know if any of you watched Lois and Clark, but if you did, you know what I'm talking about. The wedding was magic. Because the first time they got married, it was to Clark married a clone. The second time they got married, the real Lois married Clark. Yeah, it was different than what we got in the comics, let's put it that way. So no marriage ever happens the moment of. Even in the comics, Superman died right after he asked Lois to marry him. And then the Superman red and blue thing happened after they got married. It was crazy stuff. Plus, those tie-ins were all... See, now Tevye is a perfect example of somebody who's very salty about him not getting married at issue 50. He wanted it now, as opposed to another 50 issues. I will still be buying Batman up to issue 100. Probably at issue 100, though, I might drop Batman physically. Same thing with Detective. Once it hits its 1,000th issue, I might move that digitally as well. I'm loving both Batman arcs. I like Detective more, and I've said that in multiple different places. But I still support Batman, and I think that Tom King is doing a good job. And I'm hopeful for the next 50 issues. That was the beginning of a big Bane plot. Exactly. To break Batman. My big question is, what the hell was Tom? Yes! I was wondering the same thing. We had Thomas Wayne Batman in the background with Bane, and so was Gotham Girl. I thought Gotham Girl was a hero, but there she is with Bane. So that basically means that Bane has been orchestrating everything in Batman since issue number 1. That's insane. Batman, oh, don't even joke, Justin. Don't even joke. Thomas Wayne was... Yeah, I know Thomas Wayne was the button arc, but Jesse, they didn't show him making it. See, this is, again, this plays... I complained about this with Man of Steel, and now I'm going to complain about it with Batman. We never heard that Jor-El survived Dr. Manhattan pulling him away, yet here's Bendis putting Jor-El smack dab into the Superman mythos or into the Superman world. How the hell did Thomas Wayne make it to the main DC universe? He was on the Flashpoint Earth. How did he move over? Did they ever explain that either? So Jor-El and Thomas Wayne, two people who are supposed to be dead and should, no offense, anybody who gets upset, should be dead, are now alive. I don't like Jor-El being alive. That's one of the huge minuses I have to Bendis' run, is the fact that he brought Jor-El back to life. I like that when they wrote it, when Dan Jurgens wrote it, in the end, Dr. Manhattan took Jor-El back. Now Jor-El's alive again. The Kents, I'm okay with being alive. Jor-El? And now Thomas Wayne, Bruce's father? So basically, Clark's birth father and Bruce's birth father are now both alive. So basically, just their mothers died. Their birth mothers died. And even though that Thomas Wayne is from a world where Bruce died instead, it's still Thomas Wayne. So we have both of their fathers are now alive, but both of their birth mothers are dead. I don't like it. I'd rather have the Kents alive. Thomas Wayne, I'm sure there's a twist with him, and we'll get rid of that. But Jor-El is kind of like, it's that little tick in the back of my head that says that Jor-El should not be alive. and Jurgens just injected Jor-El, and now Jor-El has John, and Lois, and obviously Bendis has this big 12-issue arc planned for Action and for Superman, and then please God may he leave the book. But anyway, it's going to span this whole time that John's away. So basically for the next year, and this is why Super Sons is coming back with a 12-issue maxi series that takes place in the past. Because John is not going to be around in the present for the next year. Because for the next year, which apparently is only going to be the summer for DC in the Superman world, John is going to be gone, and so is Lois. So we're not going to see John or Lois potentially until this time next year, which in the Superman realm will just literally be the end of the summer. Okay. This is why doubling up Superman in Action would have been a better idea when it comes to this Bendis run. But anyway, I didn't even get to Man of Steel 6 yet. John now has to do... oh, John's is going to be doing the 3 Jokers, yeah. Yeah, Dr. Manhattan's that powerful, I guess. Oh my God! Thomas Wayne is Albert. If we ever get consistent issues of Doomsday Clock, that might... yeah, and you know what? I said that. I mentioned that I'll make you a bet that it's explained in Doomsday Clock why Jor-El's alive. I'll make you a second bet that it's going to explain why Thomas Wayne is alive. Because apparently something... Doomsday Clock should have been almost done by now. But it's not. So... I'll make you bet Thomas Wayne and Jor-El are explained by the end of Doomsday Clock. 2-1. But I think that by the end of Doomsday Clock, by the end of it all, Jor-El should be gone, dead, and with his wife. And I think Thomas Wayne needs to go back to the Flashpoint world. Yes, I think, Jeremy, that when he's done with Superman, his next target is going to be, his target book will be probably Batman.
We're going to the next
wait, I'm just reading. Great Nightwing variant. Oh, you Scotty shared a Nightwing. Oh, Justin got a Nightwing variant. Part 2 Thomas Wayne, exactly what I thought. Metal threw everything out of whack. Yeah, Metal did, and that's in Justice League. We'll get to that in a moment. Did Firestorm show up for Doomsday Clock yet? Not yet, Firestorm. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Now, I did Batman 50 first. Now, following Batman 50 was Catwoman issue 1.
Who is holding a Batman 50 comic book.
And the cover says it all. It does spoil. Do not. I hope you all didn't read Catwoman first, because then you'd be very upset. Now, as I take a sip, because I think I've dried out my throat. Okay. I will not be reading Catwoman 2 anymore. And it's not because the book was bad in any way. I love the artwork. The story is kind of interesting. There's copycat Catwoman out there, and now Catwoman has to deal with them. We knew that from the solicits already. However, not a Catwoman fan. And I was reading this book, and the more I was reading it, I'm like, I'm reading it because I know that her and Batman didn't get married. This takes place, I think, months or weeks later, one or the other. And I didn't like Catwoman in the New 52. I did not read Catwoman back then. There was a Catwoman miniseries. Didn't read that. And now there's this Catwoman, and I just don't care about the copycat Catwoman. This kind of was my lowest book of the week. I'll spoil that for all of you because I just had no interest. Hulk, I didn't like because of the story. But actually, Hulk and Catwoman are kind of in the running for worst book of the week. Or lowest book of the week. Not worst, lowest. Because I didn't like the Hulk path that they're going on, but I don't really care about the Catwoman path. Don't mention Walmart. I don't have a Walmart, so I didn't get the book. If anybody would like to send me the book, I will thank you live and show the book and review it on here. But if no one's going to send me the book, I'm not going to get it. There's no way I can get it. It's not even online anymore, I don't believe. Or I don't even think it was online. And there is absolutely no way I'm buying it on eBay because we all know how people are going to jack the price up for it. So, yeah, I like White Rabbit. I like the White Rabbit art during the New 52 Batman more than Catwoman. But anyway, so Catwoman and Hulk are kind of in the same lowest pick. I just don't know which one I'm going to pick for Frontline tomorrow. But Hulk I didn't like because I don't like the direction they're going with. Catwoman I just didn't care. So they're kind of even if you think about it. I don't want to continue Hulk because I don't like where it's going. And I don't care to continue Catwoman because I don't care about Catwoman. I don't normally read Hulk, so I dropped Hulk. I don't normally read Catwoman, so I dropped Cat. So I'm not even picking up Catwoman after issue 1 anymore. That's the best I could say. I mean, I'm again like Hulk. I'm sure there are a lot of people that enjoyed Catwoman. I'm very sure it's going to be in Cat's top 5. I'd be shocked if it's not, unless it's her number 6. I'm sure it's going to be in a few people's top 5 on Frontline Live tomorrow. Catwoman is not a character I really care about to read. In Batman, it's different because it's Batman and Catwoman together. Catwoman?
No, Justin, I said
Mike, we didn't get our physical books, so Mike didn't get a chance to read Green Arrow, so he's going to review it next week, Justin. Or maybe he'll read it tomorrow and he'll have it for his top 5, at least for Frontline, but he won't be reviewing it until next episode on here. Waves hand. I could find the Batman for you. Send me what? Alan, I have no clue what any of them look like. I didn't even bother trying because Walmart. I'd love to get the Batman and Superman one. I have no idea. So, Catwoman, Hulk, Justice League, issue number 3. Not. John has been recruited into the Spectrum, the dark matter spectrum, or the dark world spectrum. Superman and John are inside of that head now, exploring and looking for answers to what's inside. Lex Luthor is in Superman. We find out Joker is inside John, and he's ready to kill Hawkgirl. The rest of the Justice League is dealing with John. They knock him out and save him, and we find out about the invisible, his background on the invisible spectrum, and we find out that Sinestro went looking for it and found it, and we found out that instead of controlling the spectrum like the way the Green Lanterns control, or the Lanterns in the main universe control the light or the spectrum, in the dark matter spectrum, the spectrum controls the wielder, so it's kind of reversed. I don't know what they were called, Alan, but I liked it, and I like that Sinestro now has control over John in a way. I don't know if John is going to remain, but we find out that the invisible spectrum is already there, and Earth is going to be inaugurated into it, and the moon is still gone. I have a feeling that by the end of all of this, they're gonna have a new moon, DC somehow. But the arc is interesting, and we also find out the rest of the Justice League find out that they're where the Legion of Doom hideout is, and they have primitive white aliens. I like how this is culminating all of the Justice League first arcs. White aliens, the Legion of Doom, and you got the cartoon crew. There's a lot of culmination of other Justice League arcs or other Justice League incarnations mixing in with this first arc, and I love it. I like the white aliens. I like that you got the Legion of Doom, somewhere in the background, looking to destroy the Justice League and take over or whatever their plans are. And then you've got a new spectrum possibly with the Lanterns, which I hope we don't get. I hope that kind of gets ignored and pushed away. But there's a lot going on in Justice League, and I like it. I'm very interested, and I like the artwork. Now, I already started my rant. Last book here is Man of Steel issue number 6. And we find out this issue basically Superman versus I keep forgetting this stupid dude's name. Up, all the way up. Up. Keep going until you see the center of the earth. There. And it's still not there. Still not there. I'm never going to get the name of this dude. And you know what? I just don't care. So, Superman saves the Earth. Long story short. Meets, no. Kara uses the Phantom Zone projector. And they send the bad guy away into the Phantom Zone. And the rest of the book is all about John saying he has to go with Jor-El. Clark's upset because it's throwing his family in disarray. I don't like how Jor-El... See, this is why Jor-El should not be alive. He's looking down his nose at Clark. He's looking down his nose at what Clark is doing. And I feel like this is so not Jor-El. And that's why I didn't like it during the Dan Jurgens run either. Because Jor-El's like, are you truly being all you can be, Kal-El? Are you truly doing your highest potential? You're a beacon of hope for them, but has the world really prospered? Have they gone anywhere yet? And he's like, you can't teach your son like I could teach your son. So basically, Jor-El is saying that Clark can't be to John what Jor-El was to him, and I don't like that. I always liked that Jor-El. I always liked that Jor-El, whenever Clark was at the Fortress of Solitude and he was talking to Jor-El's projection, which is basically a virtual version of himself, Jor-El was always proud of what Clark did, and he was there to guide him, but he always guided Superman Clark to do what he's been doing, and he was always happy, and he was always, he always thought that Clark was, that's what Clark's purpose was. You believe that Jor-El sent Clark to Earth to be Superman, which he is, and Superman was what Jor-El wanted him to do, and if Jor-El was to come back, he'd be proud of what Clark's doing, but here he is, he's alive, and he's not happy. As a matter of fact, he's second-guessing ever sending Clark to Earth to begin with, and it's what I don't like.
What goes on?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Rogol Zar. Yeah. Rogol Zar. Or Bendis created another character that nobody's going to care about soon. We call it that. So John ends up going, and Lois, who gets fired from the Daily Planet, decides that she wrote one book already, and we all know that from Lois and Clark. She has a second book that she can write, and she's going to write it all about Jor-El and her journey in the universes.
Oh, why did they have to show that page? That makes you feel horrible.
So they end up leaving in the end, and you see Clark sitting in John's room just alone because he lost. His son is gone. His wife is gone. They're going to be gone for the whole summer, which is going to be all 12 issues of Action and Superman. Don't move that page yet. I want to use that in a minute. And then you got the communicator, which they can reach out to him and he can reach out to them, destroyed because of Rogol Zar. So I feel like the destruction of the communicator is going to be important because I feel like Lois is going to be reaching out to Clark, and obviously Clark's not going to know she's reaching out to him. And then somehow, some way, Clark's going to find out that his family needs him and he's going to shoot off into space possibly. And then the last page, hey, look, it's Miles Morales from the DC universe. Because there's a boy who looks almost identical to Miles Morales. I mean, anybody tell me I'm wrong. Now, obviously, that's not really Miles Morales, but damn, look at that. And I'm making this sound important because in the last page, this boy, who ironically looks exactly like Miles Morales, says, I saw Superman starting all those fires in Metropolis. Now, obviously, this probably has something to do with the woman that is now working in the Daily Planet who says she's going to own all Metropolis by Wednesday. But I just find it very funny that the boy who she hired or is working for her, or maybe is her if she's a shapeshifter, looks exactly like Miles Morales. Bendis loves Miles that much that even in DC, even if that boy is never seen again, even if we never see that boy again, which I don't think is true, I think we're going to see a lot more of him. At at least for that last panel of that last issue of Man of Steel, there's Miles. It's hilarious, Scotty. I think he already did pull it off. You won't call that kid Miles. It'll be somebody else completely. It's probably somebody completely, utterly different. But beside the point, it's just funny that he's going to create a character that looks like, if this is going to be a recurring character, if that boy is a recurring character, looks just like Miles. And I don't know if that was by accident or on purpose, but... So now Superman is being fingered for all the fires going on in Metropolis. Kandor has been destroyed. Dr. Manhattan effing the universe up. Now he brought Miles to DC. Exactly, right? Look, I'm split in half when it comes to Bendis on Superman. Half of me wants it to be amazing because Brian Michael Bendis is an amazing writer. So half of me is saying, I want this to be good. I want to look back and be like, this is like when Jim Lee took over Superman. The arc was forgettable, but we got a good story from Superman. Not this one. But when Jim Lee did another arc that wasn't good. But this arc, for example, it's something that you remember. You have a statue. A statue. If you see the corner of my shelf, you have a statue made of it. You know, you want Bendis to have that quality story for Superman. You want him to make a good impact on Superman. So that's one half of me. The other half of me is like, this dude's going to screw it up. This dude is already starting. He's already putting his agendas and his stuff into Superman. Doesn't know what he's talking about already. But then even Jay's saying, Superman's personality. I don't feel that Superman was a sarcastic character. But Jay's like he was, and he gave references. So obviously, Jay has the references, and I obviously have only read Superman from the 90s. I've read 80s, I've read 70s and 60s and 50s and 40s through trades, but scarcely. And Jay's obviously read every single Superman book. Let's throw that out. We know that Jay's read every single thing that there is for Superman, I'm sure. So Superman had the personality as far as what Jay says. But my mind is going to, this is Bendis doing it, but it might not be. And then you got Miles on that last page. Is it Bendis or just my mind saying, okay, I'm worrying that Bendis is going to do to Superman what he did to other characters. So half of me is like, this could be great. And the other half of me is always wondering, oh my God, what is Bendis going to do? Is he going to screw this up like he screwed up other books and get Superman fans mad like he got other people mad? But honestly, that's what my other side says. Well, Miles is an excellent character. All New X-Men was a fun run to start with until the Iceman incident, which again, the other half is going, see, he did the Iceman incident. So what if he does an Iceman incident? Not the same, but I mean, of that caliber in Superman before he leaves. So I'm split, everybody. I want to love it, and I am praying that I love it. I interviewed Brian Michael Bendis back at New York Comic Con like 3 years ago. He's a great guy. Really friendly. He didn't have to do the interview, but he did. In the middle of Artist Alley. We had a great talk about X-Men and about other things, but I'm still worried about what he potentially could do to Superman. And I think anyone from DC, if it was Batman he went to, if it was the Justice League, if it was Flash, I don't see anybody who wouldn't be a little bit nervous having Bendis write their books because, I mean, let's be honest. Bendis he left Marvel on good terms, but he didn't exactly end all of his books on good terms, if you know what I mean. His last books were not quality books. Jessica Jones, Iron Man. I mean, half of Frontline had all of his books either not even in their top 5 or in their worst. So I'm just saying, I want Superman to be the best he can be. And it took Jurgens and Tomasi a lot of work to make Superman in action the best they could be, to bring Superman back after the New 52 screwed him up. I want to see Bendis continue that. I don't want to see Bendis stall Superman out again. And already, the double-ups are gone. Every other book is still coming out twice a month. Superman and Action are only coming out once. And Bendis has this big agenda that's 12 issues long for both Superman and Action. So for the next year, starting with issue number 1, which is coming out this month, for the next year, basically when we do our 500, or maybe not even, maybe right after 500, we'll be seeing the end product of his 12-issue long arcs for Action and Superman. And then will Bendis be staying on Superman? Will he move on to another title? Will he have another 12-issue arc that he's working on, or a less issue arc on Superman? I just want Superman to be the best it could be. And I think that Brian Michael Bendis has the clout, the credibility, and the talent to do that. As long as he doesn't, it's hard to say. You know, it's hard to put it into the right words. Bendis has great talent. He can make it great, or he could really crash and burn, especially because he has so many projects he's working on. My hope is that he doesn't crash and burn. My hope is that if he crashes and burns, let it be on another book, not on Superman, not on Action. Obviously, he has an end game in mind. He's got these 12 issues planned out. My concern is, will he get them? Will it all pan out the way we want it? He wants it to, and will the fans be happy with it when it's done? Will I be happy this time next year? That's what I'm nervous about. But we'll have to wait and find out. At least he didn't kill John and Lois, so Tevye, you don't have to freak out. John and Lois are safe. So, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm truly nervous going into Superman and Action Comics again. Superman is getting renumbered, hopefully for the last time. I mean, Superman is the title has been renumbered. I think there's like 7 volumes of it. Hopefully this time we're done. Action is continuing on from 1002 or 1001. 1001, I'm sorry. It's continuing on from 1001. My hope is that this is a good thing. God just made his appearance for a moment. I don't know if it's still showing up, but let's all hope for the best and pray that we don't go for the worst. That's all I can say with Superman. Again, it's just me being overly nervous, maybe. Jay is very optimistic. Jay keeps me optimistic, because if Jay says that, you know, this is going good, that means that I'm just being overly nervous and overly worried. I believe in Jay more than myself at points, because Jay knows a bit more about Superman, and he'll know when Bendis is Bendising it up and when Bendis is just reaching out into previous incarnations of Superman. With that, that's it for this review and my long rant on Superman, Catwoman, Hulk, and everything else. Thank you all so much for being here. Everyone here live. First of all, Reviews from the Batcave live every Friday. But before that, just Jesse, JLS Comics. I almost said JLS Jesse. JLS Comics Jesse. Comic Conversation every Thursday night, and then you can go on Sunday mornings over to Justin's channel, Exile State Comics, for Sunday morning comics. And everybody I mentioned also makes videos. Everybody in the comments that I've talked to make videos. Toxic Rose is an awesome Twitch streamer, does a lot of Fortnite. She better get her butt onto Sea of Thieves. Firestorm has been hitting it hard on Twitch as well. Monthly hauls on his YouTube channel, but Firestorm is also hitting it hard over on Twitch. And his videos are then going up on Frontline Gaming Zone. So if you miss his Twitch streams, go check out Frontline Gaming Zone. He's been kicking ass with a lot of really awesome games over on Twitch/Frontline Gaming Zone. It's been confirmed Godzilla's coming to Comic-Con. Yay. So that means maybe a new IDW series. So, Jesse, Justin, Scotty, Tevye, Alan, Legend, Reviews from the Batcave, Chad and Rich, Sleepy Reader, Jeremy Renfro. I want to make sure. Frank! It's Frank. How could I almost forget Frank? It's Frank. And I want to make sure I don't miss anybody else, because I don't want to miss a single person, because everybody here is important. I said Legend, right?
Yeah.
I did, okay. Being sure. And Toxic Rose, thank you so much for being here with us live. I appreciate that. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Already, Jesse's saying, great show, guys. So I'm glad that you all enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the show. But now we are post-live, so now... Awesome rant reviews. thank you, Justin. Now it is your turn post-live. Let us know what you thought about the books this week. TJ Watson, enjoy. Thank you so much for being here, TJ Watson, and thank you so much for enjoying and stating your enjoyment of the show. But it's your turn now, post-live. Let us know what you thought about the books this week. Like, dislike, agree, disagree. We'd love to hear from you guys' recommendations as well. We're back live, and we are back on time. I'm happy. Yes. Slowly but surely, we'll be getting back into all the Frontline stuff, starting with Frontline Live tomorrow night. We will be there. Probably not on camera because a lot of crazy stuff happens on Tuesdays, but we will be there nonetheless. We'll be talking news and top fives. And hey, will it be Catwoman? Will it be the Hulk? Stay tuned to find out. Take care, everyone. Oh, as always, social media links in the description below, as well as Brooklyn Boys now added back.
Yes, and my 800 video that will be this week on Due to Rock 18.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. I would go recommend it sometime this week. I won't say when, but I have a plan. When?
That's right. And if you are inclined to ever help out the channel, it is not required, but is always thanked a million times over, like what Nerdivision's done, like what Frost has done, and Roll from Bitter Old Goons Gaming, two of which gave money, have donated money, and Roll, who donated an entire Losian Sync system to us. Not a requirement, but there is a donate button on the channel if you would so choose to, or so like to donate to help the channel out, help us out. As always, we have a set goal in mind, and we'll get there on our time. Any donations just help us get there quicker. Again, but it's never a requirement. We are here to entertain all of you, and that is what we are here for, and why we love having each and every one of you here, and for no other reason but that. All extra stuff is extra. And thank, like I said a million times over. We do this because we love doing it. We love each and every one of you. Till next time, everybody, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting. We will see you guys next week for another episode of Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. Later, everybody.
Later, everyone.